Good morning, everyone. A very hearty welcome for today's meditation. Let us all collectively bow down and raise our Kundalini, put ourselves into a bandhan. Let us begin by collectively taking the Mahamantras.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Let us keep both of our hands in our lap. And let us humbly pray to Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, we, your children from across the world, have gathered here to have our morning meditation. Mother, you who are the Adi Shakti, please let us feel your divine cool vibrations on the palms of our hands. Mother, please let us collectively feel your presence, your vibrations on the palm of our hands. And as we sit and meditate in front of you, Mother, please clear us of all the negativities from every chakra. Now let us place our left hand on the Mother Earth with the right hand still in our lap. Shri Mataji, please clear our right side. Please remove all the negativity from our right channel. All the imbalances on our right side. All the imbalances in our right Muladhar. Now let us bring our left hand back in our lap and let us place our right hand on the Mother Earth. Shri Mataji, please bring our left side into balance. Please remove all the imbalances, all the negativities from our left side, from our left Muladhar. Let us bring both of our hands back in our lap and let us pray to Shri Ganesha, the destroyer of all the negativities, the destroyer of all the obstacles. Shri Ganesha, you who are the innocence and chastity within us. Shri Ganesha, please purify our Muladhar chakra and allow our Kundalini, our mother, to rise. Shri Ganesha, please remove all the obstacles, all the negativities in the path of our spiritual growth and our ascent. And please bring us in balance, in the center, in the present, in the now. Please forgive us for any mistakes we may have done knowingly or unknowingly. And allow us to meditate upon the holy lotus feet of our Mother. Now let us bring our hands close to our heart. Again, palm facing upwards. Shri Mataji, you who are the Adi Shakti, Mother, please allow us, your children, to feel your divine cool vibrations on the palm of our hands and the top of our head. Shri Mataji, please forgive us for all the mistakes we may have done and allow us to feel your divine vibrations on our palms. Let us bring our hands back in our laps and let us pray to Shri Ganesha one more time. Shri Ganesha, please forgive us for any mistakes we may have done individually and collectively. We humbly pray to you, Shri Ganesha, to return the innocence to this world. Innocence to us, to all our friends and family, to our entire country and the entire world. Shri Ganesha, please destroy all the negativities that take the innocence away from the world. And protect all the innocent. All the seekers of the truth. But first and foremost, Shri Ganesha, please strengthen the innocence and chastity within us. Let us collectively take the Ganesha Atharvashish.
श्री गणेश अथर्वशीर्ष।
नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं कल्पितं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अवभक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चातात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरातात् अवदक्षिणातात् अवचूर्ध्वातात् अवाधरातात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो नीलो नमः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयम् नमस्कारः परतरः वर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपम् लकारः पूर्वरूपम् लकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारः शान्तरूपम् बिन्दुरुत्तररूपम् नाभसन्नामम् संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निःश्रुतगायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमं कुशधारिणम् गदं च वरदं हस्तैर्विभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तकर्मानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितम् भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणम् अच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो प्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Let us now listen to a talk given by Shri Mataji at the Jalshram Ashram, London, from 1981. The talk is called The Power of Kundalini.
Today I told you about Kundalini. And that Kundalini is the pure desire within us. That manifests or is awakened to give us our self-realization. Means the desire is only fulfilled when you get your self-realization. Otherwise it is not manifested. It is just dormant. It is still residue. It has created the world, within us. But until and unless you get self-realization, unless and until you become one with your spirit, you have not achieved the manifestation of this power. Which will go on making you run and run and run, thinking that you have not yet achieved or you have not found out your way. It will be there all the time, sleeping, but giving you a feeling of vacuum. So this power must permit to manifest. But when it manifests, what's it? What happened? Well, let it be. Let it be. So, what happened? Come here. What happened? Huh? All right? Yes. Good. Now one has to keep quiet, all right? Then this power has got certain qualities. The first quality it has got, this is Urdhva, means it goes against the gravity. It goes against the gravity. You see, a thing rises. It doesn't go down. So, a person has to be aspiring by nature. If a person is not aspiring type, Kundalini doesn't rise. Because like, you see, when food passes down our stomach, it presses the sides of the intestines. By that, these movements of going down takes place. You see, Mata? So when the Kundalini starts and starts pressing on the sides of the chakras, she creates a feeling of throwing it higher and higher. So the chakras bounce it upward. All the heavy things all go down. But the Kundalini rises higher and higher and higher because it is like fire. Fire never burns downward. It always burns upward. She looks also like fire. And she has the capacity of fire. The fire has a capacity to purify and to burn off whatever can be burnt off. It purifies the things which it cannot burn and burns off the things which are inflammable, which can be burnt off. Come now, come forward. So the quality of fire that exists in the Kundalini burns off whatever is useless. Like in our house, we find all the useless things. Then we take them in the garden and burn them. Finished. Once for all, they are finished. So when the Kundalini rises, she also burns off all useless things. All your useless desires, your useless ideas of action, all sorts of useless accumulation of feelings and egos and every sort of a nonsensical thing that is in between. Everything is burnt on fire because they can be burnt. They are not eternal by nature. They are not eternal by nature. They are temporarily there. All that is temporary, she burns up. And that's how she enlightens the spirit. Because spirit cannot be burned by anything. But this burning is so beautiful that it burns out all that is bad, stagnating, all that is polluting, all that is a disease, and cools down the system. It is very interesting to see how this power of fire becomes a cool breeze. But in the science also you find that electricity can give you hot breeze or cool breeze. You can transform from one to another. But there is no ultimate for these things. They are always reversible. Supposing something becomes a magnetism, you can always convert into electricity. Electricity can always be converted into magnetism. But Kundalini is such a thing that once she burns out everything that is there, that's how you get heat. Because she's burning. But when she cools down and becomes cool, then she is not reversible. That's why it is a living process. Living process is never reversible. All dead processes can be reversible. But anything that is reversible, now supposing you are grown up, you cannot become a little baby. Whatever you may try. You may have any number of operations, you cannot become a baby. Now you are grown up. Now you are modern, overdeveloped. You may try anything to become a primitive person, you cannot. You just cannot. Whatever you may try, that will be all very artificial. You may just feel that you have become primitive by wearing some sort of a dress, by feeling that, oh, now there's no modernism in us and now we have become very, very subdued. Nothing else. It is curable but not reversible. But it's a living process. So Kundalini within us expedites the living process within us of our evolution. So the power of Kundalini is to purify. She purifies us like fire. She doesn't purify us like water. Surprising. She doesn't purify us like water. Now water, what does the water do? Water never burns off anything. But it dissolves certain things. It can take in something within itself. See? It can contain some of the dirt within itself. Supposing you put a color in the water, it assumes the color. The Kundalini does not assume the color. She burns them. You follow my point? So if you have anything wrong within you, she'll burn it off. But she'll not absorb, she's pure. She cannot absorb those things into her that will pollute her. She cannot be polluted. This quality of fire, say for example, if you put fire, gold in fire, silver in fire, you can purify it. The pure form comes. That's how you know. But if you put gold and fire in water, nothing will happen. At the most you can wash them from outside. But in and out you cannot do it. So outwardly you can do with other things, but with Kundalini you do in and out. The face also looks beautiful, as if some glazing has taken place on the face. A new, bright face. It's not sallow, neither it is horribly burning, nor is it pale and ugly looking, but it becomes radiant, radiance. That's what Kundalini gives you. It looks also as if a molten iron. Have you seen molten iron? Pillar of, supposing you take a pillar of iron and heat it to a point where it starts showing you see copper, every color in it. Copperish and all sorts of color you see. See golden, copperish and all that. You see like a furnace. But very silent. Very silent. It works out. Now the sound of Kundalini, I have told you in one of my lectures, how it creates sound. For example, at Vishuddhi, it creates the sound of all the vowels that are in Sanskrit language. The English vowels are very few. Sanskrit language are a, I, u, lulu, lulu, ai, o, a. These are the sounds that Vishuddhi can see. She creates sounds on all the chakras. But when she comes to Nadi, it becomes a Vani. Vani means information. Coded information. That's the weirdest you can say. Coded information. First it is the Paravani, which you don't hear. When it rises from the Kundalini point, means Muladhara chakra, and Muladhara, then it is not heard. There is no sound. Then it comes to the stomach, the Paravani starts. Then it comes into the center, where in the heart, always you hear it, Madhyama, where you can hear it, just like heart, properly. With the stethoscope you can hear it. Then it comes to Vishuddhi, it becomes a witness, means Pashyanti, the one who sees. You might have noticed yourself when you are caught up in Vishuddhi, you feel the thing going on here. But here she sees. Then this sound, which is the sound with which you speak, when it comes to the throat, it becomes Vaikhari. It says. This is even before the Kundalini is there, the Vani, the coded information, the language, which is first only coded, becomes decoded here. So it's called Vaikhari, it talks. But after realization, the Kundalini enlightens the Vani, as it enlightens everything else. Because of that enlightenment, your mantras become enlightened. And that's how, when you say a mantra, it is effective. It's lighted. Before this, any mantra said has no meaning. It's just ordinary Vani, just like any ordinary person. So it is called as the mantra which is Jagrut, awakened. So a mantra which is Jagrut cannot be created out of a mantra which is not enlightened. Like if you have, say, an earthen pot or an earthen thing like this, or this one as it is, and you have all the oil and everything there, still it won't give light till it is enlightened. In the same way, the mantra is nothing, it's just a dead pot. Unless and until it is enlightened by Kundalini, it is from ordinary Vani, which cannot give you enlightenment, and which cannot give enlightenment to the mantras. And that's why these mantras have no meaning at all. A person whose spirit is enlightened and his Vani is enlightened, such a person, whatever he says comes true. Whatever he asks for happens. Even before he says something, the desire within us, which is the Paravani, which is the coded information of the desire you have, becomes enlightened. And that's how you get the results. Suddenly you get something, you said, oh, I have struck the jackpot. And mother has done it. That's how it works. The whole system works out this way of Kundalini. So this pure Kundalini creates purity. Without the purity we cannot see it. Anything that is impure, say my hands are not clean, I can't see the lines. Anything that is dirty, you cannot see the real picture. You cannot see the reality if it is not being purified. But even if it is superficially purified or artificially painted, still you can always say that it is artificially painted and we cannot see the beauty of this one because this is done from outside. But Kundalini burns off it. That's the Sahaja. Makes everything into ashes. And whatever remains is the pure gold of the spirit within us. That's why when people try to raise the Kundalini by wrong methods, she shows her temper. Actually, she never gets angry. If Kundalini gets angry, such a person can never exist. Impossible. That doesn't happen. But it is Sri Ganesha, which is the deity of Sri Kundalini, gets angry. And he creates this problem of heat. Because she is fire. And he is the deity. So the fire of this Kundalini works out in such a manner that your sympathetic nervous gets excited with heat. And one may get even blisters and things if you try any tricks with Kundalini. Any unholy behavior. The Urdhvagati of Kundalini, the rising of the Kundalini, is its nature. The way she goes and touches the Sahasrara, that is an important point. If she does not touch the Sahasrara, then the grace doesn't fall in. And the grace has to come in within us on our both sides of the Ida and Pingala. That's how you feel relaxed. Now how important it is for us to preserve our being before coming to realization. To preserve it as it is. But we do not preserve, we make mistakes. Kundalini is not forgiveness. She does not forgive. She is not the one who can forgive because her nature is not like the fire. She cannot forgive. Only the spirit can forgive. Only the Atma can forgive because she is the one who indicates all your problems. She is the one who cleanses you. She has to cleanse you. If she starts forgiving you, your dirt will be left there. As we do, she will be clean, oh, it cannot be clean, leave it alone. She is not like that. If it is not clean, she'll burn. Cancer is the cause of neglect of Kundalini awakening. Unless and until Kundalini is awakened, you cannot cure cancer of any kind. So if somebody, say as Anna's mother was, she might be a relation and she was a good lady. She also tried to take vibrations and all that. She was quite aged. Maybe she might be also a seeker. But it acts best on seekers because the Kundalini has to be awakened. And she will not be awakened unless and until you have aspirations. And if you have no aspirations, if you just try to get it for your curing, you might get cured by an awakening. But it's a very forced action. It's not so natural. There's no suction of it. We can say like that. Supposing in this room we light fire, there is no oxygen, it won't light. So we have to have that oxygen within us, of our aspirations. If that atmosphere doesn't exist, the Kundalini takes time to rise. Unless and until you are realized, you cannot keep Kundalini up there.
Let us continue to meditate in silence for a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Whenever you are ready, please bow down in front of the photograph, raise your Kundalini and put yourself in a bandha. Again, thank you so much for joining this morning. I hope you have a beautiful Sahaja day ahead. And if you've joined in late, you can always re-watch the meditation. And we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. Lots of love to you all. Have a bright and beautiful Sahaja day ahead. Jai Shri Mataji.